Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to Shib update today, and we're pretty sideways again, and we haven't seen Shib doing too much. Now there is a lot of patterns messed up, it's nested on the 1 hour time frame, and all of these patterns are pretty weird as well. If you look at this one, we got like almost like a V-shaped recovery, and if you go on for another pattern, it's like this left shoulder, head here, the right shoulder. And then if you have another pattern, it's almost as if you're making another rounded bottom right there. So it's too much, too much in the 1 hour time frame. It's too much noise actually. So if you look at the V-shaped recovery, it hasn't really made the target. So 3118 is meant to be the target, right? You should be coming up to that target. And if you take, right, this is even crazy. As you dig in even a little bit more, it gets even more nasty that if you consider this little bit of a head and shoulders, this head and shoulder technical target has not been met. You're still meant to go to 2716, which tells me in conclusion that there's one thing that we can make out of whatever this is happening right now. So when you broke out of this, I'm going to remove the candles here. So when you broke out of that little bit of V-shaped recovery pattern, it seems like you didn't really retest the V-shaped recovery. So if you come down and retest, that's when this head and shoulder pattern is going to be met. So that means you could be looking at a touchdown to 2701. And when you touch 2701, then we could actually look at this V-shaped recovery target in the future coming up. And this can actually be something like where you drop down a little bit and then you go back up and you move up to 3077. At least in the short term, that's what I see. And if you don't go for the retest, you could just do something where you just break above and go up to 3077, right? You could actually do something like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if you do something like this and then go back to the upside. But this is a scenario when you're trying to trade based on a day trade. And if you're trying to scalp in the market, this is just how you could actually trade. Because for me, I will say even if you come down to 2706 and then you move up like to 3077, something like that, this is a 13% win. So that's like $130 if you are buying with $1,000. So that's still something very useful for those who find it useful, right? Now for the OGs, the holders, the bigger people who are really waiting for their reward right now, I think that Shib here still has a lot to do, man. We still have to see Shib breaking above, and Bitcoin on the other hand is still not performing very well. We still have Bitcoin showing problems. We have Shib also creating a bearish divergence because truth being told, yes, you're moving up and the other side is moving down, so you still have that bearish divergence. Is pretty clear to me right now, right? So that bearish divergence is still there. Another problem is that for quite some time, I've actually told you before that this has been another resistance that Shib is failing to really break above. So you got first rejection right here, and then you got another rejection right there, and ever since then you have just been down. Now the thing is that we're still not done. Okay, the game is still not over, and I think that if Shib doesn't really make it all the way down to like 2375, I think 2375, we still have chances to see Shib doing something like this where it pumps up and then tries to go to the upside. A lot of people may actually try to open up short position right over here, and we might just see this stop losses being taken away, push up, because another thing is that something tells me that, these wicks, like the wick that you see right here, is always an open invitation to welcome the prices to go back up and visit the wicks, right? So whenever you look at the wicks happening, it actually indicates that, yes, at some point we probably might be looking at the prices to jump up. It is as when you trade Bitcoin and Bitcoin as CME gap in the futures, and Bitcoin always goes up or down to actually fill that CME gap. That's the story with wicks here. So this wick here is a very, very big indicator that something is bound to happen, and we might see Shib coming up here to 4600 and hopefully break above that and move to 6000 somewhere down in the future. But this is just going to happen when you really break above that resistance. I think as soon as you break this resistance, man, as soon as you do that, that's it. That's when you really go to the upside. So that's all for the video, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Love, peace.